Right then, here we are with verse 3 of The Bride Chest by Eluned Lewis. This is now outside. So the first verse is set in the attic. The second verse is more about the background to the poem. And the third verse, we're now outside. Below on river and garden, whispering falls the summer rain. If you look at that line, the whispering falls is linked to the summer rain. So the summer rain is falling and making a whispering noise. The frosts of May have found their trees in their spring. Will they flower again? Now, it says it's summer, then it says it's May, then it says it's spring. This is all very confusing. I think what it means is that there's been a late frost in May and it's found the trees, it damaged the trees in the spring, and so in the summer they should be flowering, but in fact they're not, and there's a doubt as to whether they will flower again. So it's all quite negative to start this final verse. It's summer, it should be lovely, but it's raining. There's a whispering noise, and later on the blackbirds chuckle. So let's look at that in a minute. The trees which should have been blooming are not, because they've been damaged by frost. Then you've got blackbirds. Now, blackbirds in general are usually bad omens, so they signify death or something bad is going to happen. The blackbird itself, as a type of bird, if you look into old mythology, the blackbird was a bird that led you, it was like a link between you and the underworld or life after death. So there is possibly a symbolism there. Swallows are summer birds. They like to fly very high in the sky during the summer and then disappear for the autumn. I don't know whether there's any symbolism of that with that. Lilac, pale hangs the lilac. Lilac has a symbolism. It's the flower of young lovers. It's very definite symbolism there. The Victorians believed that every single type of flower had a significance, and lilac was the flower of young lovers. So let's look at some of this imagery again. You've got a whispering noise and you've got a chuckling noise. Now, a chuckle is a little bit sinister here. Blackbirds sing and their song is particularly beautiful, but here the blackbird is chuckling. It makes it sound like it's almost mocking this girl and what's happened to her. The whispering, again, there's a hint of perhaps people may be whispering about her. There's some sort of significance to that. They're quite negative images here. The lilac, pale hangs the lilac, indicating that it's almost a bit sickly, and it echoes the pale face of the kneeling bride. Now, in the first verse, she was a girl. Now she's described as a bride. And that almost gives you the key to the whole story, this very last word of the final verse, the word bride. So what it tells you is that at first we thought she might be a young innocent girl, but in fact now we know she is or was a bride. She's got a pale face, which might indicate that she is grieving. What might she be grieving? She might be grieving her husband or potential husband who's been killed in the war perhaps, and the bride chest that she would have been using, now everything has had to be put away. So the last verse really echoes the negative tone of the poem. It should be beautiful. There's a river, there's a garden, it's the summer, we've got trees, we've got a reference to flowering. Something has died here, that the frost has damaged the trees. Will they flower again? So does that refer to her life? Does that refer to her love? Will she find someone in the future? Will her love blossom for somebody else? So there's quite a lot of things going on in this last verse. Okay, we'll stop there and I'll do a final video looking at the whole poem and also looking at the structure and the rhyme scheme.